question. So guys, from the today's lecture onwards, I would like to discuss about some cucumber behavior driven concepts. Okay, a overview on a BDD, and why we need this, and how exactly does a BDD is differ from Selenium. So these are all the most important things which we need to know. Okay. So usually thousands of questions will rise in our mind, stating that why we need to go for these BDD, what exactly the advantage of these BDD, what makes difference of this BDD when compared to Selenium. See, the simple point out over here is we already have an idea about Selenium and how to work on that particular Selenium. So generally, wherever we are working on a Seleniums, we will create a framework, right? We will create a framework where in which in the framework, depending on an application, we will capture the properties of file, and then we will obtain the page objects from that, and from then we will create a business functions, right? So we will create a business functions from that. And once the business functions are got created, we will create the various kinds of a test. Finally, we will call the tests there. Okay, finally we will call the tests there. So this is the process what we usually do in a Selenium, right? Assume that, okay, this framework was completely prepared by Surendra. Okay, Surendra is a person who has good knowledge on Selenium. He prepared this framework. So assume that we share this framework to Ramya, who is a customer who don't have any idea on a programming. See, Surendra shared a complete framework to her, but Ramya don't have any idea on a programming language. So for her, the framework, whatever we prepared, looks like some Japanese language, right? So the ultimate point is basically the end user won't understand anything about the framework logics, whatever we have implemented. There comes this a BDD framework, which is using a Cucumber and a Gherkin. So basically, okay, we will study about them moving further. So the only thing what we are doing using this particular Cucumber is, okay, so the only thing what exactly we are doing using this particular Cucumber is we will create a feature file in Cucumber. Okay, so we will create a feature file within this particular Cucumber. So what exactly the feature file contains? A simple example is, assume that our scenario is login to an app. So the feature file name is gonna be login page.feature. This is gonna be the feature file name, and the content out over here is open the application, enter username, password, click on a login button, verify the logout button. So in the feature file, I have given these 3 lines of a code. See, before these 3 lines, we will have a given when, then, and too many keywords are there. I'm not explaining those keywords now. But the feature file looks like open, enter, verify the login button. Assume that we have shared these feature file to a client. Just by looking into this login not a feature, they can understand that okay, this is a login page related code where in which the first line will open the application, the second line will enter the username and a password and a click on a login button, and the third line will click on a logout button. So this is how, just by looking into the feature file, anyone can simply understand. Okay, just by looking into the feature file, anyone can simply understand what exactly it is gonna work. Great. So immediately a simple question will rise in our mind. Okay, I specified 3 commands in the feature file. Then how come those commands will perform operation on a browser? So here, for every feature file, we need to implement the steps. In this case, we have 3 steps. These 3 are steps. We need to write down step definition for all those steps defined in the feature file, where internally we are using our Selenium Java programs only. So this is the most important thing which you need to remember, guys. So only thing what you are doing means internally we are using only the Selenium Java program under this particular open the application. So it means from the open the application we are establishing a relationship with our Java program, where in which we are writing down our Selenium Java program internally. So finally, when we execute the feature file, it will move to the Java codes under the step definition and it will execute the program. That's it. As simple as it, guys. So the ultimate point with this Cucumber, what we are gonna do is, with this Cucumber, we are specifying the various kinds of feature files, and with respect to the feature files we are writing down the step definitions. Inside the step definitions we are using Selenium plus Java commands only, but within the feature file there we need to use certain keywords like a given, when, then, and etc. Background. Too many keywords are there which we need to use under the Gherkins, which we will study about these Gherkin keywords in the next class. So in the today's class, we have seen why BDD is. So if you observe, guys, the only thing is anyone who don't have any idea on automation testing, just by looking into the feature file, they can understand that what kind of a logic it's getting executed. Internally, we are using Selenium Java only. So don't think that this BDD is a completely different. So in BDD, the most important things we are defining are a feature file and a step definition. These are all the 2 things. Inside the step definition, even we are writing our Selenium Java commands, whatever we have implemented in our normal Selenium framework. Okay, so whatever we have implemented in our normal Selenium framework, that's it. So the major difference is the feature file and as well as the step definitions file and executing that. So this is an overview on this Cucumber BDD. In the next session, I would like to show you the configuration required for this BDD, what is a Gherkin, how to know the keywords and all those things we will study in the next class. Okay, fine. So that's all I have. See you again in the tomorrow's